Hello guys and welcome to a brand new video. Today I'm here with Zom 100 episode number 9 reaction. Okay, the previous episode we got it was divided into two parts. We got introduced to the final member of our team. Her name is Beatrix Ammerhauser, I think that was her name, and she came from Germany. Yeah, she came from Germany over here because she loves Japan. And as soon as he comes here, everything goes wrong, and this whole apocalypse starts. So she comes in and she was bringing fresh fish to the last remaining chef, and we kind of go off on that mission. That was also one of the things that Akira wanted to do, and yeah, we did it. And Beatrix joined us by the end of it. That was the first section, and then there was the next section where we get to see a little bit more of what's her name? What was the girl's name? I just forgot her name. Shizuka, yeah, Shizuka. We got to know a bit more of her past and how she is, not her past technically, but what she thinks about a few things, and she she has been influenced by her father, and that is why she's afraid of kind of stuff like love and those type of things. She's not used to that, and that is why when they went to the hot spring, Akira kind of talked about that, and she kind of acted in a very rude way and kind of denied Akira's way of looking at stuff, which she later on apologizes after they find a private, a little hot spring kind of thing. And she apologized, and Akira was like, nah, it's fine. And they had a little moment. So that was that episode. So let's see what happens here in this episode. I'm guessing they're going to be going towards the main character's hometown and try to find his parents. So let's see. So episode number 9, let us begin. I'll be putting the subtitles and the timer here, sync it to whichever is your preference, and let's begin. Right, here's the countdown. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, this is past. Hmm. Jellyfish. Who knows? Maybe no. This might be his dream. Like what? What are you talking about? You know, like what? Just because? Yeah. Oh, I forgot. We have a new opening. Kind of. Hmm. Right. Okay. Yeah. He's so confident that everything is fine. Yeah, you and your naked jokes. She still has a fan. Yeah. I, I feel like that would be the least of the worries in this. Oh my god, please look at the road and drive. This happened before once. It was not good. Okay, it's barricaded, which makes sense if there's people who was okay. Yeah, wait, so did they barricade it or something? No, no, no. How? Wait, what? You can. How can you do that? There's zombies now. I guess you kind of like, like. Go, yeah, climb the mountain. Alright. This is gonna be tough. They have some huge baggages. I was saying, they kind of. It seemed like they barricaded that place. Yeah. So, it might be. Oh my god. The hell? Hey yo! Random old man. Damn, she has a bow and arrows. God. Right. Yeah, well. Umano. Masal. Is he one of the villagers? Probably not. Akira doesn't recognize him. Monster. Yeah. He made a treehouse. I feel like something like that. There you go. Not a treehouse, but like an elevated platform. Oh wait, it is a treehouse. Okay. Oh wait, he had one of those. Okay. Hmm. He's just. He's like, can you teach me your ways? Damn. Oh my god. Yeah. Okay. Wow, that's a crazy ass treehouse. Wow. He's like, yeah, free bodyguards, yay! I can do my job here without any. Oh, she's learning how to ride. That's nice. Level thing. Oh, that's oh, I see. That's why the water. Ah, that's smart. Yeah. I feel like I've seen people do this. Yeah, yeah. This is probably. Oh. Ooh. Okay. Hmm. True. Hmm. Wow. That's why he said like ask the tree. Okay. Yeah, and this is going to kind of help them in their journey because now that we are in an apocalypse. Hmm. Oh wow. Damn, that's an interesting way of looking at. Okay. Wow. All right, that sound became deep. No. Oh no, please. Here we go. Obviously. Ah, it's a zombie apocalypse, so beaten by my wife. Mm. Oh. And that's why he's making a tree house now. Hmm. Oh no. Okay. Okay. Damn, they're actually making like a house with a balcony and everything. God damn. Yo, this is it's more of a wow. That's a fancy treehouse. The tree houses that I'm acquainted with is like one little, Okay. Wait, they all did that in one single day? Goddamn. Oh no. I'm having a bad feeling. It's okay. Yeah. Well, he's used to all of this. That's why he's so casual. Beatrix also is pretty used to this. Oh my god. Remote island. Oh! Yo! We are here. Okay, let's see. Okay, things seem pretty peaceful there. Nothing's burning, nothing. Yeah, he was in that company. He was just. Okay, oh no. Oh my god. I was just saying. No, maybe they're like. Maybe they evacuated. No, I feel like they probably evacuated or something. They're probably somewhere. Just hiding or like. Oh no. Wow. Okay. Great. Everyone's fine. Where is his parents? Oh, there they are. Oh wow, they're safe. Oh, there he is. He's like, ah, you finally have time for us now that we're in the zombie apocalypse. Hmm. His dialect is. They're probably relieved that Akira's fine because they definitely were worried about. Ugh. Well, I was just saying he was going to be like, "You finally have time for us?" Oh boy. Hmm. Okay, everything seems pretty peaceful. There's no zombies and stuff. We saw the whole place barricaded. He's definitely relieved that Akira's fine. Wow, this place seems so different. There's no zombies. It seems like nothing is different. Everything's the same here. Because of the location, definitely. The location is so. Yeah, there you go. Like I was saying, it's a remote village, so the zombies couldn't come properly. And they also have guns and stuff, yeah. Yeah, they barricaded it. Try to take shelter. Oh, they are the ones. Oh my god. And they are the zombies that are roaming over there. Wow. Number of people from the city managed to survive. Okay. Hmm. Okay. Go home and spend time with my parents. Yeah. Byoko tweets. Yeah. No. No, no. Zombie apocalypse. Hmm. Oh, dad is back. Yeah, there you go. You have a chance now. Let's go. He wants to apologize, I think. Because of what he said before. Hmm. Oh wow, that is some nice looking vegetables. No, they're happy that you're safe. I'm pretty sure, you know. Hmm, what's happening? Oh no. Oh, for a moment I thought he was bit or something. God damn. It's probably he said his illness, I'm guessing. And now in the zombie apocalypse, we cannot really get enough medical, like That was going to be a. The hell are you? What the hell looks? He looks like some kind of a anime protagonist side character or something. Yeah, he looks. Oh no! Stop it. These people. What are okay? Wow. Yeah. I just realized who he reminds me of. He reminds me of. Oh, the zombie apocalypse. Yeah. Goddamn. Ooh. Oh wow. Wow. It's crazy to see the parallel here. Like Akira's freedom and his freedom. The parallel here. Yeah, there's something in there. Oh, the survivors. No. Wait, this. Oh, wait. Wow. Okay. Yeah, his list is going to be very different. Wow. Fire a real gun. Okay, I'm pretty sure in one of the in his list there's one point where he wants to completely. Wow, look at this. Oh, want to. Wow. The hell did these guys come from suddenly? Like, what the hell? Okay. I was gonna say, like this guys, his character design is. I feel like I've seen the same character design in like at least five other animes. He reminds me of that guy. What's his name? Why am I not able to remember his name? From My Hero Academia. The main Shigaraki, isn't it? Yeah, that's his name. Yeah. Like he really looks like him. I was like, I feel like I've seen this guy before. And then I realized, oh, probably from a different anime. Like a lot of anime have a character like him who, I remember there being a few other animes who has similar character design to this guy. Don't remember exactly, but My Hero Academia is the one which I was able to remember. Shigaraki has kind of the same character design as him. Crazy to see how their group has also 4 members, including him, just like our group, which is basically like I said, it's basically a parallel to our group. You know. However, I guess the male female ratio is different though. No, like 3 guys and 1 girl, and here we have 2 guys and 2 girls. But like other than that, everything's kind of almost almost the same. They're just the anti version of our group. Yeah, like there were people who have been rejected by society and who just wants to get back at the society before dying. And the problem is that the one thing that's going to become a problem is that their motivation is not motivation, I would say, but their outlook on this whole situation is similar to our groups. They also expect to die, just like how Akira's outlook on this whole apocalypse and this whole zombie apocalypse is things I want to do before I become a zombie. They are also like that. They're like, yeah, like stuff I want to do before we die and become zombies. So that's the thing. Up until now, I guess you could say one of the biggest um, advantages Akira had is his outlook on this whole thing. He's desperate, and this desperation brings out a lot of strength, you could say. You know, unlike others, Akira is like, oh, we'll die either way, so let's do everything we can before that. You know, so this whole outlook on life really brought out a lot from him and made him, I guess you could say, a force to be reckoned with. These guys seems like these guys have the similar motivation but for different things. You know, completely different outlook of life, but their motivation is the same. They also don't know, like they also don't think they'll survive. They're also like, yeah, before we become zombies, before we die, let's just mess with the world. That's what I'm trying to say here, that they are also desperate in that way. That's going to be a problem. Like which, yeah, there'll be a lot more like daring in whatever bad stuff they're going to do. Like for example, as you can see here, they just want to mess with these people who saved them by just opening the barricades and making this whole place go into chaos. Good God. It's just, so yeah, this episode, it was a really nice episode up until the end. Obviously, at the beginning there was like the section where we get to meet that that guy, that old man who did made the house, the tree house guy, and we get to see his whole situation. Akira helps him out, and Akira definitely reminded him of his son. And then after that we come to the village, and we are relieved to see that everything is fine here. Everything is okay. And it makes sense because this place was a remote location, and they were able to quickly take care of a lot of things. For example, the zombie pandemic coming in from the tunnel, all they had to do is block the tunnel. Everything else is naturally blocked because they have mountains, rivers, and it's more like a little, their village is located in more like a little valley kind of thing. The only way to come in and out normally is a tunnel. So they only had to block the tunnel and keep an eye on the tunnel. That's it. Nothing else needed. And yeah, and everything looked very nice here. Everything looked very peaceful. And there was a part when they were talking about how they accepted the city folk over here who tried to come from outside and here. There was a part where I was like, right, that's all well and good, but hopefully there's no bad people among them. Hopefully there's no people who came from the outside over here, hopefully there's no one who tried to mess this whole situation up, and they kind of showed a little montage of those like city folk over here, them also like doing their job and kind of helping them out, and I'm like, yeah, it looks fine. But there was a part of me which kind of thought that hopefully everyone's fine, because they accepted people from the outside to come with them. you know they showed them kindness. And usually in these type of settings, the ones who come from outside are the ones who, a few of them, obviously not all of them, who kind of mess the stuff up, especially in zombie apocalypse stuff. Like everything looks like, oh, everything's going well, we have the whole place barricaded and everything, and bam, someone from the inside tries to do something, try to do something like this and completely messes everything up. So usually, and that's why they say, I think like a lot of zombie apocalypse kind of make us realize that zombies, most of the time in a zombie apocalypse, the real threat usually isn't the zombies, it's the people. And I feel like every zombie apocalypse, be it movie, game, anime, kind of really makes us realize this by the end of it, that yeah, zombies are all well and good, we can take care of them, they don't have any brains, they're just mindless, thing. All we need to do is kind of get to know their patterns, their way of what they do and how to take care of them, and have some countermeasures against them, and we're fine. The real problem strikes within the people. The people, they are the most dangerous, and they're the ones who kind of mess stuff up. Like you see here, what's happening, everything is fine, they're living a peaceful life. In comes these four douchebags who are suddenly like, oh, let's show the world that never accepted us what we can do, this thing. So yeah, it's always the people. Zombie apocalypse, real threat is as the people most of the time. At the beginning it's the zombies, then little by little, as people starts getting adaptive and starts adapting to stuff, yeah, it's the people. Then people are the main threat from that point onwards. Yeah, what can I say, these type of guys, and the people we saw here in the end, they're the most what can I say, trash type of people. Who, for example, this dude here, the main guy, who never was able to do anything, and as he says, society never accepted me, but now he just wants to mess with other people because society never accepted him or whatnot. The hell is wrong with you? He's so salty that in a zombie apocalypse he just wants to mess with others. God damn. Just when I thought that now I'm guessing we're going to get a little bit of peace and quiet, nope, in comes another group who'll try to mess with us. Yeah. But you know what? Our group is way more competent. Just look at our group and look at their group. I don't know what they can do, but I feel like our group has so much more. Obviously, Shizuka's extremely smart. Kencho is Kencho, just attracts the zombies like no other. He's one of the best, I guess you could say, best taunter, or what do you call them? The one who attracts the aggro for the for the zombies. That's the thing he does best. Akira is extremely athletic and strong. So is Kencho as well, obviously. And we have Beatrix, who's a beast with the Nagi. What do you call that? The Naginata? No, I forgot. No, that thing. Naginata, isn't it? I might be wrong. Anyways, and the bow and arrow as well. And she has her whole samurai armor. So that, this is our group. What about them? I don't think they will be as competent as us. It doesn't look like that. But let's wait and see. I shouldn't judge a book by its cover. Maybe they can do some stuff as well. But looking at them, I feel like they're just salty ass people who just wants to mess with the whole thing just for the fun of it, and that's it. They have nothing on, but their whole thing is they're going to use the zombies against us. That's going to be a problem. But either way, let's wait and see. Obviously, this is giving me this is making me think that by the end of it, his parents probably won't survive. Probably most of the people in this village wouldn't survive. That's what he's giving, like, because like in this episode we saw his father kind of like cough up blood, which in itself is something that gives me, like, makes me think that obviously now that all the zombies will be let into the village and there'll be a whole panic situation. I feel like like by the end of this whole situation, his either both of his parents or his dad will probably either sacrifice himself for the others, or something else will happen, because it doesn't look good. Don't know about the mom though, but I can like 100% say here, like with 100% guarantee, that his dad is probably going to die by the end of this. Don't know about the mom though. His mom probably might survive, but the dad, yeah, that's the vibe this is giving me. Good God. Okay, let's talk about that. Was my whole impression about this episode. As soon as it looked like everything was looking kind of bright and nice, yeah, we fall into another, like like another like situation. So yeah, let's wait and see how it goes. Alright, so we begin this episode with Akira kind of thinking about his dad, and his dad telling Akira, find your dream. You're working for a corporate company. Is that really something that you wanted to do? I don't think so. It doesn't look like that was your dream. So find your dream, like, and do it. And while Akira in his head, he was like, oh, but you're just a current country farmer. Who are you to say that to me? But like, I feel like like Akira's kind of misunderstanding something here. Like, his dad said, like, find your dream. Like, yeah, he might be a farmer, but maybe that was his dream. Like, who are you the one to, like, say something like that? If that is his dream and he likes doing these type of things, then that's a win for him. For Akira though, that wasn't his dream. Was his dream being a corporate employee? Obviously not. I doubt that. As he says in, like, in one of the episodes, he said, like, I don't even remember my dream. What was it? All I remember is I wanted to help people. So yeah, this thing definitely wasn't his dream. So that's what his dad was trying to tell him, that I doubt this is your dream. Just like, do what you want to do. But he obviously didn't really think of it in that way. But yeah, now he's having these, like, like, memories. And yeah, so back in the present, we see Akira and everyone there, like, in the car driving, and Shizuka's like, oh, you're nervous, aren't you now? You're going to meet your parents again after so long. And he's like, oh, no, I'm not nervous. But obviously he is, because there was, like, like, he kind of left in a very bad way by not really talking that much with his dad. They kind of, like, parted ways in a very weird, situation. So he's kind of a little bit tense into meeting them again. And either way, they have to stop because the tunnel to the village is blocked, is barricaded. And as soon as I saw the barricade, I'm like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're the ones who barricaded it. So there is a possibility of the villagers being fine, because the zombies are inside, the place is barricaded. That's definitely a man-made job. No zombies would do that. So that would mean everything is probably fine in there. But either way, like, Akira kind of gets a little bit concerned, since he tries to look in the zombies and he's like, oh, I don't recognize anyone from here. And I was like, how the hell can we recognize looking at zombies? But I guess you can probably recognize them, like, because the facial structure and everything will pretty much stay the same. And since he lived in a small village, I'm pretty sure everyone in the village knew everyone. So he probably remembers every single person in the village by their face. So seeing these zombies, he was like, oh no, they're not here. So probably everyone in the village is safe. Either way, they have to go through this, like, go around this whole thing. So they're going to climb those mountains, go into the forest, and take a different route in there. So yeah, so we are off. And you can see Akira kind of gets a little bit concerned here while walking. He's a little bit bummed out. But they're like, I'm sure everything is fine. And like, like, Shizuka's like, don't have to worry about it, because I think at least they're okay, because that was a man-made barricade. And that's what I said. I was like, yeah, I'm pretty sure they're fine. Someone did that, barricaded that thing to not let the zombies escape. Either way, suddenly we meet this man who's like a carpenter, who is being chased by this wild boar, and Beatrix to the rescue, shoots a bow, immediately takes care of the boar, and the guy's like, thank you guys, like come, like I was here looking for a good place to stay, and I came to the, forest. What? Okay, his name is Mr. Kumano. So he's like, uh, the cities are overrun with monsters, aren't they? I was looking for a safe place and ended up settling here. You know what's funny? I just realized something. He called the zombies monsters. You know why? Because I feel like obviously he's a person who's like he's been he's like one of the older generation person. He's like an old man now. So like obviously he doesn't have anyone with him who are like of the newer or the current generation. Like I feel like these things, like we are the ones who call them zombies. If we like suddenly brought these creatures and introduced these type of creatures in front of maybe like a grandfather or grandmother and told them, oh, you see this thing, can you tell me who these things are? They're obviously going to tell that, oh, these are monsters, because zombies is a term that didn't really, I guess you could say, wasn't really there back in the days. Like, yeah, so I just realized that the reason why he called them monsters is because he doesn't know what zombies are. Like these things are definitely zombies, and Akira, Shizuka, or like Beatrix, they'll know that they are zombies because they're from the newer generation, and like they know about zombies and stuff, these type of things, and they know that there's a term for these particular beings. So that's why they're like, oh, this is a zombie apocalypse. But people like him, who are from the older generation, they'll not know what zombies are. That's why he's calling them monsters. I just realized. I was like, that's an interesting way to call zombies. He's calling them monsters. But then I realized, like, yeah, obviously, where would he know from that these are called zombies? Zombies is a term that was coined fairly recently, I think. I'm not sure. Don't take my word for it. At least that's what I think. Because, yeah. At least our grandfathers and grandmothers wouldn't know what zombies are. Anyways, so they are off and they go to this place, and he's like, here we are. We are in the forest, and he's making a tree house. So it's a fancy looking tree house though. Like I said, the tree houses that I'm acquainted with is just like in one tree there's a little house and that's it. But he's like making like a whole amusement park in the tree. That was funny. But anyways, he's like, this is what I'm doing. And I I was pretty much able to like immediately realize, even before he brought us in front of the treehouse, that he's probably making a treehouse. Because like the only way you can survive in a forest in a zombie apocalypse if you climb up a tree. And what else will you do? Where will you sleep? If you sleep on the ground, if a zombie gets to see you, he's immediately going to eat you, or bite you at least. So in a forest, at least, the best way to take shelter is up on a tree in a zombie apocalypse. So making a treehouse is like one of the best bets. And a lot of zombie apocalypse movies and stuff and games, like when zombies attack, there's a lot of people who take shelter in like trees and like tree houses. The game Walking Dead, like the first season, if you have played it, you'll know that the first time, the first place that we meet Clementine is on a treehouse, and she was there trying to protect herself from the zombies. And that is why tree houses and trees are like a big, I guess you could say, asset in a zombie apocalypse, because the zombies cannot climb trees. I've seen so many zombie apocalypse movies and games. I've played them. I've never seen a zombie climbing a tree. So there you go, one safe place to stay. But yeah, anyway, so I was like, yeah, he's definitely like making a tree house or like doing something like that, and that's exactly what he was doing. He's building a tree house. And you can see Akira's eyes start glowing, because that was one of the things that he wanted to do, and it was in his bucket list. And and Shizuka's like, good god, now this guy is going to try to stay here. It's funny to see because this is exactly what happened with the whole Beatrix situation as well. He was actually off on his way to meet his parents, and then suddenly meets Beatrix where she's like, oh, I'm off on my way uh to to give this fish to the sushi chef, and he decided to help her out just because it was in his bucket list. So seeing this situation, immediately knew that, oh, we're going to get stalled here again. And yeah, that's what he does. He's like, the first thing he does is he goes to the guy and he's like, can you please, obviously you're pretty much very vulnerable here with the zombies. We can help you. Like, just let us climb down the treehouse. We'll protect you. And Shizuka's like, when are you going to go to meet your parents? And he's like, what are you saying? Like, we'll leave this poor man here alone. We have a chance to protect him. Like, we should do that. We should help him out. And Shizuka's like, all right, fine. We know your motivations very well. Okay, so they're like, all right, let's do it. So they start making the tree houses. Kencho's also pretty much hyped up about this. And we get to see the man kind of teaching them a few stuff, showing how, like, oh, in these type of situations, to get to know the, like, which is the, what do you call it, the orientation of the orientation, I don't know, if the land is steep or not. To understand that, you need like a water, like a pipe with the water. I'm trying to think, I feel like I've seen this before somewhere else, where they kind of see whether the place is tilted or not by using a pipe and a water. Where was it? I don't remember, but there was some other show, I think I saw them use this similar thing. Don't exactly remember where. But anyways, he's like, this is how you do it, and he's like teaching a lot of things to them, which might actually come in handy for us in the future. And while all of this is happening, over there, Shizuka is teaching Beatrix how to write. And he says a few interesting things here. For example, okay, I'm going to read this part. If you place your nails and bolts in the right locations, you won't damage the tree. Okay. And then he's like, if it's best to leave a 5 centimeter gap between bolts, so fallen leaves won't get stuck in between them. So you deliberately leave a little bit of a gap. Tree houses are built differently from tree to tree. The tree itself will tell you how to build and what kind of house it is. And he says a very interesting thing here, which Akira kind of expands and goes a bit deep into it. Okay, I'm going to read this part. Ask the tree and the forest if you don't understand, he says. And he's like, yes, the foundation of a tree house is the tree in itself. If the host tree dies, the house is done for. When you think of a tree, think about the other trees and the earth around it. When you think of a tree, think about the other trees and the earth around it. By doing that, you become mindful of the entire forest. And that's how you'll hear the voice of the forest. Interesting way to look at this. As he says, if you want to look at a tree, look at what's going on beside it and the trees beside it. If they're happy, this tree will also be happy. Kind of like that, I guess. And if you're able to understand that, you'll be able to understand the whole voice of the forest. Because this technique applies to the other trees as well. So that's why you'll probably get to understand the whole, and as he says, you'll be able to hear the whole voice of the forest. And Akira kind of goes a bit deeper into this, which is very interesting. He says that, does that mean if you think of yourself and others around you, you become mindful of the whole world? He applies the same logic to people. So when the day comes when I can hear the voice of the world one day, what will I write in my bucket list then? Okay, that's very interesting. He took it in a very interesting way. I wasn't expecting him to say something like that. Anyways, he's like, oh, I've always wanted to make a tree house. I dreamed of it. And the old man is also like, yeah, my son also wanted to do it. And he's like, oh, where is your son now? And immediately I'm like, yeah, Akira, you should have realized. And yeah, he realizes, but a bit too late. But the old man is like, my son wanted a tree house, and I thought we'll make it, later on, but it was too late. And he says that people say that when you're ready to repay your parent, it is already too late. Turns out it works the other way around too. That's sad. But anyways, he's kind of wobbles and Akira helps him out and he's like, I've got you. And he's like, yeah, thanks. And anyways, they then go full out and yeah, they make a actual treehouse. Like I said, this isn't a treehouse. It's a goddamn amusement park on a tree. They have like slides and like swings and everything. I'm like, what the hell is this? Oh god. Okay, so yeah, and then he's like, thanks guys. Like if you need any help, I'll help you. Okay, so I think that's what he says. Wait a minute. You know why I'm kind of focusing on this part? Because I feel like this is going to be important later. He says, I'll be in this forest. If there's trouble, give me a holler and I'll give you a hand. With what happened in the end of this episode, I feel like this guy's going to play a bigger role after this. That's why he said, like, I'm here. If you need help, you call me. I feel like he might actually come and help us out in probably the next few episodes when the whole zombie, like, like the tunnel, the man-made tunnel, these douchebags in the end, they're going to destroy it, I'm guessing, and lure in the zombies. So that's why, like this scene, I'm kind of focusing on this scene because he says that, give me a holler, I'll help you. I feel like we'll need that very soon. Either way, after that we go through the like the mountain side, and you can see like Aki is very chill with this because he's been growing up in this like environment. And Beatrix is also very chill with it because she's very athletic. However, Kenju and Shizuka are just oh my god. And yeah, in the end he's like, all right, we're finally here. And in the village he goes down and he sees that the place is kind of run down a little bit. The tractor and everything is just there, and he kind of gets concerned there's no people. And I'm like, like at least there's not a zombie crowd over here or like dead bodies here. We're just not seeing them. Maybe they're just sheltering themselves somewhere and they ran away or somewhere. I thought they probably evacuated. But like turns out he just goes in and he opens one of the doors and sees everyone's just doing some crazy things, like dancing in loincloths or whatever. All drunk. And you can see his dad and mom is also there. And the first thing he says is like, I'm sorry dad, I'm sorry mom, because I didn't keep in contact with you. And like I should have been better. And like I'm here now. And he like starts crying and everything. And the dad comes and hits him in the head. And he's like, you come back here finally to spill this nonsense? Like what's going on now? This is why you dragged in your friends over here in this dangerous situation? Just for that? And he's like, the dad is like, I'm sorry guys, like you had to go through all of this mess just because my son wanted to come here. And he's like, you can have a rest now. And he just goes to do his farming job. And yeah, but everyone's happy to, obviously, like he's definitely relieved that Akira's safe and sound. So is Akira, because even though he was confident that everyone is fine, there was definitely a part of him that was concerned about them and thinking if they're fine or not. But as they say, like this, as his mother explains, this place is in a remote location. There we have like stuff. We're like self-sufficient. We grow crops. We we use the same crop seeds and everything to kind of rotate and make more crops. Like different times, different stuff grows. We eat them and maybe trade with other people. Like we're self-sufficient here. Like we're fine. We don't really need outside help. And that's why, since our whole mountain, this whole village is located in a remote location, there's not really any concern for zombies coming suddenly. We have one entrance, and that is a tunnel, and that has been barricaded, and everything is safe and sound here. Okay. Right. Right. So after that, you can see that she also kind of explains that a few people from the city tried to come here because they heard that this place is safe, but one of them were infected, and he started infecting the others. That's why we had to barricade this place. Most of them are dead, but a few of them are still alive. They're here helping us out. Now, as soon as she said that, that is what I said. Like I immediately thought that hopefully, like the people here in the village, they're fine. They have grown up over here. They're part of this village. They know each other and they care about each other. There won't be a problem. The problem will be in these type of situations. The problem are usually the outsiders. When they bring people from the outside, a few of them are like people like these, as we saw in the end. Especially in a zombie apocalypse, taking in people, without really, I guess you could say, checking or keeping an eye on them is usually a big red flag, because half of the time people lie, as we saw before as well. They lie about being bitten, not being bitten, and in the end we end up finding out that they are actually bitten and they infect everyone. Not only that, like people like these, as we see in the end, those four people, these type of people exist, and they just are here to mess things up. And that's why when she said, like, we kind of allowed a few people from the outside to stay with us, I was like, hopefully there's no bad people from there. But oh well, in the end, I just saw what happened. Like my suspicions actually became true. There are definitely bad people among those that they brought in. Because here they kind of show them kind of working together, these four girls we see, and like a little dog. They're like hanging the clothes and everything, and like taking the vegetables. This was fine. The next scene, as you see here, this scene, these are the dudes who became the problem later on. This guy, that lady, and those two dudes. They're the ones who became the problem, as we saw in the end. But either way, Akira's like, oh, what should I do? Like how can I help my parents? And he's like, okay, let me help mom with the dishes. And he he's like, oh mom, you can rest. I'll help you. Then he's like, oh, should I massage you? Like, is your back hurting or something? And the mom is like, it's fine, Akira. Like, you need rest. Like, I'll do it. We're self-sufficient here, as I said. So like, you don't need to help. But then the dad comes, and the dad is like, Akira, come and help me. So yeah, he's off. And you can see it's a little bit of an awkward situation, because his dad is working, and he's definitely thinking about the final day when he talked to his dad, and when his dad, and he and his dad kind of like were in a little sour, like the situation. They kind of left and parted ways in a very sour, way. So he was definitely thinking of that, and probably thinking of apologizing. And he like starts making small talk, and he's like, oh, how are you doing? Like, are you okay? Like, is everything fine here? Like, and he's like, oh, now that I'm here, I can help you guys. And he's like, it's okay. Like, everyone here is self-sufficient. We do what we have to do, and we, yeah, like, it's fine. And it has always been fine. It still is fine now. You don't really need to help that much. And this part, I kind of feel like his dad, like, this is the thing. Obviously, like, you can see that his dad is a man of few words. He isn't really able to express his own, I guess you could say, like, his own emotions to his son, which is most of the time that's kind of what happens. So you can see how he's like not really asking for Akira's help, because this is always has been the truth. All he wants is for Akira to do what he wants. That is why when Akira's like, oh, I'm going to stay here now, I'm going to help you guys, he's like, oh no, it's fine, like, we're okay. Like, he doesn't really tell Akira that, oh, you do what you want to do, but he's kind of indirectly kind of, I don't know, indicating to that. He's like, yeah, like, you don't have to like really stay here and help us out forever. If there's something that you want to do, you should go out and do it. And obviously, like, and that's why he was also kind of mad, you remember, when he saw that he dragged his friends here just because of this. He was like, you dragged all of them here just because of this, just to see that if we're fine or not. Obviously, like, I understand your feelings, but you made problem for these guys. You put them in danger while trying to come here. So that's what he was trying to say. So that's, at least that's what I think. Obviously, he's relieved, but there's a part of him that feels that, like, Akira shouldn't really owe anything to them, because that's what parents are. Like, they don't want, like, their children to owe something to them. they do everything for the children from their own, like, like choice, you know. And yeah, it's nice when the children pay them back, but like, they don't expect anything in return, and they don't really want their children to spend their life not doing something that they should like. And like he wouldn't want that. He would want Akira to do what he likes, instead of just staying here and trying to like help him out. And that's why he's trying to like say here that, oh no, it's fine, like, we can handle it here. But Akira wants to help them. Like, that's the thing, like he just needs to tell him, like, directly that, what, dad, I just want to help you. That's what I want. And his dad will probably accept it, but he cannot really properly express it. Neither can Akira express his feelings, nor can his dad. So that's the problem here. Each are like, like, kind of just dilly-dallying around the whole situation and not really able to express what they want. So yeah, so that was like a little bit of an awkward scene. And then we also see his dad kind of like coughing blood. For a moment I thought he was like bitten or something, but thank god that's not the case. So he's kind of bleeding, and which kind of makes me think that, like, this scene especially makes me think that later on his dad will probably not be able to survive. Like, he'll either sacrifice himself for his child or for his family, or something like that is going to happen now that these guys like are like opened the whole tunnel and are into, like, and the zombies are coming in. Yeah. Okay, so while, like, and they kind of cross, like, like, cross paths. Akira goes in this direction, that guy goes in the other direction. And Akira's like, I feel like I've seen that kid before somewhere. And what's funny, I was also like, yeah, I feel like I've also seen this kid before. And then I realized it just has a very common character design. I've seen this character design multiple times in multiple animals. Like I said, like, his character design kind of resembles Shigaraki in My Hero Academia and a lot of other shows. His character design, I feel like I've seen his character design in so many other shows, this type of character design. And that's why I was like, wait, I feel like I've also seen him. And then I realized, like, oh, it's from other animes, not this anime. Anyways, but yeah, he like, like, you can see that he goes and he's like in front of the tunnel, and he's like going to open the barricade or whatever, and we get to see his story as well. His situation was also kind of like Akira, I guess you could say, like, but his outlook on life was extremely negative. He hated and loathed society for, like, this whole situation. You can see how he's like sitting down and he's like, oh, searching for jobs, and he's like, oh, there's no jobs, no one's paying me enough, this and that. He says, like, a life of being unwanted by society and by others. Yeah, he hated it, and he's like, oh, I wish I could go back to the summer break when we were kids, just without any worries. But then he comes across the zombie apocalypse, and he's like, oh, we are free. It's summer vacation from here onwards every single day. Yahoo! And like I said, his situation is a whole parallel for Akira and his situation. Akira was the same. Akira was also like, oh, I don't have to go to work from here onwards. But Akira's outlook on life was way more positive and way more constructive than his way of life, looking at life. His way of looking at life is destructive, while Akira's was constructive. Akira was like, right, I don't have to go to job. I'm going to do everything that I have always wanted to do. Like, go to a hot spring, like kind of, what else did he say? Like, play video games or stuff like that, like meet my friend, like, like confess to the girl I like. These things, constructive things. However, his goals are like, oh, like rob a bank or something like that, these type of things. Like okay, I'm going to read his bucket list. I'm going to read that after this, because that's where we get to see what he wants to do now that we have in a zombie apocalypse. So what he does is, like, he goes to this convenience store to like get stuff, and then he comes across a few survivors, and funnily enough, all these people were also who hated the world and loathed society. And they saw like there's like a notebook, and he got an idea. He's like, wait a minute, I can use this situation to my advantage. Why don't we have fun together in this broken down world? So here you can see he starts writing a few things down. I'm gonna read them. Okay. Try out any and every. Okay, fire a real gun, blow something up with the dynamite, and then there's this lady who's like burned out the company that insulted me. Okay, here's one thing. I don't know what the hell. Like, this is purely out of spite. What is the point of burning down a company that insulted you? Nobody is there anymore. Everyone's either turned into zombies or escaped. What the hell is the point? That's why I say it's just out of spite that these people are doing these things. That's why I said, like, their whole thing is destructive, while Akira's is constructive. And then this guy who's like, I want to force my tongue. Okay, great, good job. And what did the final guy say? Slap my. Okay, wow. And that's why he's in the end he's like, yeah, we'll all become zombies either way. So while we're waiting, we take revenge on this world. Okay, 100 things we want to do before becoming zombies. Yeah, and that's exactly what Akira's bucket list is, but Akira's way more constructive while his is destructive. So yeah, now we have these douchebags who are going to try to mess with us, and this peaceful village is probably going to get overrun by zombies next episode. Good job. Whoa, what a bunch of, oh god. Yeah, so great. Like, we get out of one problem and another problem strikes. But yeah, let's wait and see what happens. So that was it. That's what this episode for episode. That's what. Okay, I cannot speak apparently. That was this episode. This was episode number 9 of Zom 100. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed this video, be sure to press the like button, subscribe if you're new to the channel or you haven't subscribed, comment down below anything you want to say, anything you want to let me know. I'll check them out. And yes, so thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week with another episode of Zom 100. Until then, goodbye and have a nice day.